for the Yankees to have
come
a
back
3-0
from
comeback?
3-0.
Wow. Against Mookie
David
Betts?
Ortiz is there. Well, Mookie
That'd be
wasn't.
exciting.
I understand.
Time to separate the real
He's a
from no
Red
big
Sox
deal.
at heart.
Something or nothing against Dave Roberts is what we're going for. In any event, first up, Eagles have now won 3 in a row.
I meant to say Mookie Betts.
I know, but that would have. But
Dave.
Dave Roberts.
It was what Dave Roberts
Jalen
would
Hurts
have
passer rating 132, 119, 126. 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. We were saying interceptions were a problem. Not anymore. Longest active streaks without an interception. Wow. It's Herbert.
Russ, that dates back years.
Yeah. And then Jalen.
I told you played well.
Bruce, the lack of interception streak, something or nothing.
Well, look, this is something for the Eagles. 3-game win streak.
Yeah.
I think they're playing well. They've settled in on their identity of running the football more than they've had. I think Jalen's only averaging like 19 passes a game in the last 3 games. Obviously, no interceptions. He's run for like 5 touchdowns, thrown for 4. Barkley is kind of their hub, and that's working out. And the defense is the big thing because we knew they were talented offensively. But defensively, Coach, they're 8th in total defense, 7th in scoring defense, and that was their big problem last year is they couldn't defend. So, yeah, this is something. They're playing good football.
Yeah, I think it's something really positive to have a 3-game win streak, and looking forward, which Nick likes to do. The next 2 opponents are very winnable.
Yep.
And
Schedule checking?
the defense is playing better. Their stars are performing at a high level, and this is the value of expectations. So expectations were low. Now they're exceeding expectations. People are getting exciting. The feeling, the building is so much more positive as opposed to, when they were dealing with the losing streak last year, the expectations were so high. So every little thing was a big issue. So they're in a great spot right now to keep moving forward, and the expectations are right here. So that'll keep the building balanced.
It's an awesome win on both sides of the ball. So it's something like that. Listen, fair is fair.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts played really well the last 2 weeks in particular. And the defense, which I have massive questions about, has started to play better as well the last 3 weeks during this winning streak. I don't trust this team for any significant stretch of time, and I don't think they're well coached. But record is a team stat. They're a 5-2 football team right now, and they just blew out a team that I think is a good team.
Oh, my
and so,
God.
well, we're getting
Why
to
do
it
we
right
play
now.
the games?
What?
Why do we play the games?
I just gave them credit. I just gave the Eagles credit for all
That's
of it.
what
That's
Nick
why
said.
The
Bengals got it.
Right,
The Bengals are a good
Hold on,
team.
we're doing the
hang
Bengals
on,
in a second.
Oh, they're going to be.
Can I finish about the Eagles? Go to the
No,
Bengals.
you threw the Bengals in there.
Because that's who they beat, you doofus.
That's why we shouldn't have had 2 in there.
Just go ahead.
I knew it was going to get confusing.
It's only confusing because you
Bengals are going to be
You don't even have
5
the
and
name
12.
of
Like,
it.
they're a good team. I don't know how they're 5 and 12.
Do this. Do the question.
Check in on the Bengals.
Yeah.
The best team with a losing record in the history of the NFL. They dropped to 3 and 5.
Might be the best team with a losing record this year. Think about the Rams. Them and the Rams. Yeah.
And Joe Burrow is back on the podium talking about math. Quick sidebar. The more you're talking about math on the podium, the worse your team is. Take a listen.
I think 10 wins usually gets you in. So we got to win 7 out of 9. That's doable. It's doable. So we'll go from there.
Yeah, okay. Let's see how the Bengals are doing against winning teams. 0-4 versus losing teams, 3-1. So congratulations, something or nothing about the mighty Bengals.
Well, it's definitely something, and I don't think they're mighty, but I do think they're a good team. And they're 0-4 at home. They have a lot of ominous stats. But here's the problem, and this is why you yelling at me doesn't accomplish anything, because I need you to answer this question.
Sure.
Let's just say all the 5+ win teams are making the playoffs. None of them fall apart.
Okay.
So that's Kansas City, Buffalo, Houston, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Denver. Give it to Denver, credit to them. There's still one spot available.
Chargers.
Here's the people available. Indy, the Chargers, Cincinnati, and then all the 2-win teams are right. So there's still one spot available. You cannot, with a straight face, tell me that you are exponentially more confident in the 4-4 Colts or the 4-3. Are they 4-3 now? Chargers than the Bengals. So no, they're not dead. They might not be they're definitely not a great team. I still think they're a good team. This was a terrible loss, by the way, not losing to Philly, but getting blown out the way they did. But I'm not going to sit here and act like they're dead when there's 7 playoff spots and they're competing with Anthony Richardson, who's exhausted, or the Chargers, who last week looked good, but have been up and down. I'm just not going to do it.
They're definitely not dead. There's no question about that just because of the way the standings are in the AFC. But they aren't good. And they are living off of beating the Chiefs a couple years ago. That's what they're living off of. Because last year they were banged up. We get it, they were banged up, but they didn't make the playoffs
But
last
winning 8
year.
or 9 games with Jake
This
Browning
year,
last
they're
year is
not-
kind of impressive.
This year they're not playing well. Like you said, they haven't beaten a team with more than 2 wins. It is and Burrow hasn't played that well without one of his star receivers. T. Higgins wasn't there on Sunday. So they still are alive, as you said, because of the standings, but they are not very good this year.
Yeah, it got a little of that Aaron Rodgers delusional press conference vibe going on. And look, is it doable? Yeah, it's doable, and I like his confidence, and I think that he's sincere with what he says, but he's never been worse than 4-4, at this point in the season. So the hole that we keep asking him to dig out of gets smaller, and at some point, the doable is not going to be doable here soon.
And just to be clear, I disagree with him that they can get to 10 wins. I don't think they can get to 10 wins. I don't think a team that went 3-5 is all of a sudden going to go 7-2. I just think that 9 will get you in that last playoff spot, and 8 could. I think that's the situation we're in the AFC, because again, I just penciled in Denver, and I'm not sure Denver's sustaining this to begin with. There might be 2 spots available. That's the only point I'm making.
Patriots get Drake May back.
Patriots. Well, the 2-win teams are there.
We have
exactly.
one fewer win.
And by the way,
And we
you would
beat the
have the
Bengals.
tiebreaker with them.
Thank you. Check in on the Colts and Anthony Richardson, who subbed himself out of the game in the 3rd quarter. Here was his rationale.
Man, tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there that I did, and I don't think I was gonna be able to go that next play. So I just, just told Sam I just needed a break right there.
Coach, something or nothing?
Say less. Like, don't talk about it. Say you hurt. Say you got like a pulled muscle or a cramp. Don't say you're tired. You're not a D lineman. Right. You're not a wide receiver. You're not a run. You're the quarterback of the team. You don't get to run off and be like, hey, I'm tired. I'm going to put someone else in. All right? I know we game planned. You got someone else? You can't do that.
Literally did it.
Was it 3rd and goal, too?
No, it was 3rd and 20. It was 20.
3rd and more. I don't care what it is. Like,
3rd down.
You're playing quarterback. Quarterbacks stay in the game. Unless they want to do, like I talked about in Pittsburgh, and have multiple quarterbacks. But what are you doing? And don't tell everybody that.
I like the honesty of it.
Do you? I don't. Lie to
Well,
me.
it's obviously a something, because one are the players, your offensive linemen, your other players.
Who play the whole game.
Yeah,
every
and
snap.
you're getting, if you got to really try to get them to follow you and to rally them in a tough game, what are they thinking about you when they look at you? But even more than that, quarterback, you have to be mature. You have to be a leader. The fact that he didn't seem to think it was a big deal.
No.
Like, he just being, man, look,
Taking
I was
a break.
tired. I was tired. Like, the fact that he didn't know that was bad tells me he's not mature enough to really lead a team. He's talented, but he's not mature enough to really lead a team right now.
Well, also maybe not accurate enough. I think he was 10 for 31.
Yeah.
He started 2 for 15.
This covers up the bad play.
Right.
Wild, just for a moment,
Yeah.
I'm going to put on my fake gumshoe hat.
Oh.
Because let's say Wilds this weekend went cross-country skiing in Maine.
Wow.
That sounds fun.
But you hadn't told me, and best I could tell, you'd never done it before.
Yeah.
And you walked into the office, and I was like, hey, do anything fun this weekend? Did you go apple picking or maybe cross-country skiing in Maine? Would you think I just randomly pulled that out of thin air, or someone had tipped me off?
I think someone would tip
me off.
Or maybe my Instagram.
The question that was asked to him was, did you get hurt or were you tired? And he was like, I'm going to tell you I was tired, which is so bizarre to me, because nobody ever covering football thought a quarterback after taking a hit left a game because he was tired. So either that was the luckiest reporter ever, or somebody told that reporter, hey, ask Anthony if he was tired. And that to me is intriguing.
Who do you think tipped the
I don't
People
know.
inside the organization are working
someone that knew Anthony Richardson pulled himself out of the game because he was tired.
Well, they
why would
did.
they
I
want to
believe they
embarrass
said
him?
on the broadcast that he, at a certain point, he wasn't hurt.